Dallas will dribble it out. This crowd on its feet, the best team in basketball all year. All the work, all the sacrifice, handling the enormous weight of massive expectations. Ends tonight here. It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured. The Celtics are NBA champions.
Indeed, anything is possible. Hello, everybody. I'm Ed Robinson, and welcome to another exciting edition of At the Rim. This is the program that gets you caught up on anything and everything happening around the NBA. And that voice that you heard, that audio, is courtesy of the NBA, the National Basketball Association, ABC, and the Walt Disney Company. And that was Mike Breen on the call of the final seconds of Game 5 of the 2024 NBA Finals between the Dallas Mavericks and the champion, Boston Celtics. That's right. And we're going to have post-game reactions from Finals MVP, JaylenBrown, JaysonTatum, and so much more. But first, let's give you a recap of the conclusion of this series in Game 5 of the 2024 NBA Finals. So the Boston Celtics beat the Dallas Mavericks 106-88. Boston wins the series 4-1. So for the Celtics, JaysonTatum had a double-double with 31 points and 11 assists. JaylenBrown finished with 21 points. Jrue Holiday had a double-double with 15 points and 11 assists. Derek White finished with 14 points. Al Horford had 9 points. Sam Hauser finished with 8 points. KristapsPorzingis only had 5 points, returning from his lower left leg injury. And Peyton Pritchard made a buzzer beater just before halftime of Game 5, and certainly, the social media world was ablaze with this, and he was trending on the various social media platforms. Peyton Pritchard is a walking buzzer beater. He's been that during his short amount of time in the NBA, and certainly he's been that way for the Boston Celtics. On the losing end for the Dallas Mavericks, LukaDoncic finished with the double-double with 28 points and 12 rebounds. KyrieIrving finished with 15 points. Josh Green finished with 14 points, and Derrick Jones Jr. finished with 10 points. Once again, the final score in Game 5 of the 2024 NBA Finals: the Boston Celtics 106, the Dallas Mavericks 88. Boston wins the series 4-1. So the Boston Celtics win their 18th NBA championship in franchise history. Currently, the franchise has the most titles all time among all teams in the NBA, with the Los Angeles Lakers having 17, the Golden State Warriors with 7, the Chicago Bulls with 6, and the San Antonio Spurs with 5. And the Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP award was presented to JaylenBrown from the Boston Celtics. And I tell you, Jaylen had a magnificent season. His playoff run was just off the charts, especially in the Eastern Conference Finals and in this finals that just concluded with against the Dallas Mavericks. Jaylen was just sensational. I think he was definitely deserving of being awarded the Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP. All right, so that puts a cap on the 2023-2024 season, puts a cap on this year's NBA Finals. Celtics and Mavericks against Celtics, winning their 18th NBA championship in franchise history. Let's continue to celebrate and say again congratulations to the Boston Celtics on winning their 18th NBA championship in franchise history. We now have audio now from the trophy, the Larry O'Brien Trophy presentation ceremony, and Lisa Salters from ABC is presenting the trophy, the Larry O'Brien Trophy, to one of the executives of the Celtics, Wyc Grousbeck. Here's the audio.
Joined by Boston Celtics owner Wyc Grousbeck, our managing partners Steve Paliuca and Bob Epstein, head coach JoeMazzulla, and president of basketball operations Brad Stevens, and here to present the Larry O'Brien Trophy to the Boston Celtics, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
Thank you, Lisa. To the Boston Celtics, congratulations on the NBA record, 18 championships. To Wyc, Steve, Bob, where's Brad? Congratulations on assembling an incredible team. Coach Mazzulla, where are you? You did it. Unbelievable. And to the fans, thank you very much. Without you, we wouldn't be here. And now it's my honor to present to the Boston Celtics the 2024 Larry O'Brien Trophy for the NBA Championship.
Wick, expectations for this team were so high all season long. Just how were they able to, every time, rise to meet the moment?
Michelle, the brilliance of JoeMazzulla is that he wouldn't let expectations get in the way. JoeMazzulla said there's no expectations. You've got to win or die trying. Joe set a plan, and he kept everybody focused, and these guys played team basketball, great Celtics basketball. It wasn't about expectations. It was about getting it done. Banner 18.
You've been close for the last few years, but decided this offseason to make some major changes. How did you and Brad Stevens know that staying the course just wasn't going to be good enough?
Well, we all watched the team the last few years, a great teams, but not quite there. And Brad was brilliant. We knew we needed to make changes. We knew we wanted to make changes, and Brad got it done. He brought in Drew, he brought in KP, and here we are. Banner 18 is back.
Congratulations, Wick.
That audio courtesy of the National Basketball Association, the NBA, ABC, and Walt Disney Company. So again, that was Lisa Salters. And of course, you heard NBA Commissioner Adam Silver presenting the Larry O'Brien Trophy to the Boston Celtics and to one of the executives of the organization, Wick Grousbeck, just talking about the changes that were necessary for this coming for the season that had just passed, of course, with the acquiring of Drew Holiday and KristapsPorzingis, of course, trading Marcus Smart and Robert Williams, and of course you heard Brad mentioning Brad Stevens, the general manager, one of the tops in the front office, top executives in the front office for the Celtics, and certainly Wick is very excited to receive the 18th Larry O'Brien Trophy in franchise history. So now we go from the trophy presentation ceremony to another ceremony. JaylenBrown, what a killer series that he had. He was awarded the Finals MVP trophy.
Bill Russell would be so proud. The 2024 Bill Russell Finals MVP goes to JaylenBrown.
What does holding this trophy mean to you?
It was a full team effort, and I shared this with my brothers and my partner in crime, JaysonTatum. He was with me the whole way.
You've said that what's been different about your game this season is that you let go all of the anxieties, all the doubts. First of all, you're a superstar, so no one knew you had any anxieties or doubts. But how were you able to do that to unlock your game, as you put it?
Just my faith in the Most High. Just believing in my teammates, my coaching staff, and just being grateful. I've been grateful for every moment, every opportunity. I never hung my head. I don't only play basketball. Excuse my language. I'm sorry.
All right, that audio courtesy of the NBA, ABC, and the Walt Disney Company. So you heard Lisa Salters and Commissioner Adam Silver presenting with Commissioner Silver presenting the Bill Russell Finals MVP trophy to JaylenBrown from the Boston Celtics. And yeah, Jaylen, he said he didn't give it. Yeah, you know, you fill in the blank on that one. And Jaylen just had a monster series. And you know, an interesting factoid involving Jaylen. Jaylen is the first NBA Finals MVP award winner to have not made an All-NBA team. He was not voted to an All-NBA team this season. He becomes the first player, the first NBA Finals MVP award winner to have not made an All-NBA team this season. But it goes to show you, hey, he may have not made any of the All-NBA teams, but in the grand scheme of things, in the bigger picture, he was awarded the Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP Award. So congrats to Jaylen on receiving that honor. All right, we got some more audio for you. JaysonTatum, hey, we talk about JaylenBrown, a.k.a. JB. What about JaysonTatum, a.k.a. JT, right? Here's Jayson at the end of the game.
It means the world. First and foremost, God is the greatest for putting us in this position, for us to be surrounded by each other, for us to put us in position to maximize our ability. It's been a long time coming, and damn, it was worth it. Because we know we need each other. We all need each other. This is a team sport, and we went through the ups and downs. And, you know, we deserve this. We earned this, for sure.
Indeed, they did deserve it. And again, that audio courtesy of the NBA, ABC, and the Walt Disney Company. And JaysonTatum, listen, man, if you know his story coming up in St. Louis with the challenges that he had to face, and then, of course, going through the ranks in the high schools in the city of St. Louis, and then on top of that, playing 1 year at Duke University under Coach Mike Krzyzewski. And listen, since since Jayson's been in the NBA, you know, it's been success. It's been success. The Celtics have had their playoff runs, and, you know, they've had their challenges, you know, losing in conference finals, losing and, you know, having tough runs, of course, last year, losing in a devastating Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals at home in Boston to the Miami Heat, and then the year before that, of course, 2 years ago, losing in the NBA Finals to the Golden State Warriors. But like Jayson said, man, it was definitely well worth it. It definitely was well worth it, and you just can't say enough about just somebody like JaysonTatum. Jayson definitely on it at all times. It's certainly a guy that's somebody that you want to root for. And speaking of somebody you want to root for, head coach for the Boston Celtics, JoeMazzulla. Here he is at the end of the game.
I mean, I think, first of all, what's up? Sitting here with a bunch of really good players. Studied all your games. So I appreciate what you guys have done for the league. I think the biggest thing you learn is a lot of teams are closer to winning than they realize. You just have to focus on the minor details, the small things that go into winning, and we did it. Hey, I told you.
Tatum yelling in.
I told you. A lot of teams are what separates winning and losing, it's a very small margin. It's a small margin of the details, it's a small margin of the analytics, it's a small margin of execution. And between the players that we have, their character, as you saw, their character, their buy-in, their approach to the game, and the ability to win those margins, separation between winning and losing is very, very close. Staying out of the way. I think when you have great players and you have guys that have been in the league for 17 years, you have your guys that have been to the finals, they've been coached by other great coaches, they've been a part of other systems. You have Drew, and you come in, you have all these players with all this experience. It's nothing more than just facilitating. You have to allow the guys to set the temperature of the organization on a daily basis, and then you just have to facilitate and fill in the gaps from time to time, depending upon where people are at. But if your team doesn't set the tone, if your team doesn't set the temperature of the building every day, it doesn't really matter who's coaching, because you're not going to be able to get things where they need to get to. So the guys set the tone, they set the temperature. Our staff kind of filled in the gaps, and we were able to work together. But you got to have the guys who do it, and it's a credit to them. Yeah, I mean, listen, even like you take a look at last year being down 3-0, like when we were down 3-0, we were really only down 15 to 20 possessions. And in a playoff game, yes, you're down 1-0, but you could just lose one quarter and be down 1-0. And so it was really getting to, okay, what goes into winning a game? I studied, being down 3-0, it was like, where are the possessions that we lost that would have given us a better chance to win in those situations? And then you focus on those things, starting quarters, ended quarters. We were one of the better teams in the league last year, but only when we shot the ball well. We had to go back and work on our offensive rebounding percentage, which helps our transition defense. So just building connections into the game and doing all the little things that can impact those things And being down 3-0 was one of the ultimate gifts that we've been able to have, because it gave great perspective of it really was just about 15 to 20 possessions that we had to clean up. Can we make those things a mindset, and can we do it together? I told him have faith. God put us here for a reason. Like, we all been through stuff. Obviously, the circumstances that we got the job under were not great, but we are exactly where we're supposed to be, and God always has us where we're at. And you just got to be patient and take your time and use all the pain and all the stuff that you've been through in life for the next opportunity. If you spend so much time worrying about that opportunity and you miss the lessons that we learned from the past, we just had to stick together and use those things for that. And so, and I always told him, I said, listen, like, we might not win this year. But at the end of the day, like, are we heading to the process? Do we have our faith? Are we able to rely on that? And are we exactly where we're supposed to do? And are we doing what we're supposed to be doing? It's the most important thing. I mean, it's funny how God works, but I went to Red Auerbach camp when I was a kid. And when I would play in the games at Brandeis University, he would sit under the basket, and he would watch the games. And just observing him and watching just how he carried himself, how he talked. He gave a speech to the camp all the time. So I went there for 3 years. I still remember my rival in that camp. I still remember where the championship game was. And it's like,
I probably have numbers on that camp.
Like, I remember his name to this day.
Probably had your clip.
And Winston Tuttle. I'll never forget it. I ended up
sitting at home.
We went at it with each other, but I felt it from there, and then just grateful. I grew up here, 45 minutes away, and I used to come to the games, and just grateful for the ownership, the responsibility, and everything that comes with this team. This job is you wouldn't want it any other way.
All right, that audio courtesy of the NBA and NBA TV. And then just in some things that you caught in the soundbite from Celtics head coach JoeMazzulla. Joe is a New Englander through and through. Grew up in the neighboring state of Rhode Island, 45 minutes away from Boston. He also talked about when he was a youngster being at the Red Auerbach camp. And if you know about Coach Auerbach, you know about the great Celtic teams, championship teams in the 50s and the 60s, and, of course, him being an executive and acquiring Larry Bird and Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Danny Ainge, Dennis Johnson, and so on and so forth. And also something that stood out, too, faith. You got to have the faith. Just never stop believing. Again, as I mentioned earlier, 2 years ago, the Celtics were in the NBA Finals. They lost in 6 games to the Golden State Warriors. Last year, losing in the Eastern Conference Finals in 7 games to the Miami Heat. This year, they're NBA champions. And Coach Mazzulla definitely well put, and just being the motivator, constant motivation for his team. And we have some more Celtic sound bites for you. KristapsPorzingis. Kristaps, you talk about a game changer. When Brad Stevens made the deal to acquire KristapsPorzingis in the trade right before the season had started, it turned out to be an X factor, and Kristaps was an X factor in the first 2 games before suffering an injury. He didn't play in games 3 and 4, but he made a contribution when necessary in the 5th and deciding game. And Kristaps, here he is in the soundbite just talking about playing for an organization like the Celtics and playing for the city of Boston.
And like from day one when I came in, I just my mindset was I'm going to give everything to this team and to this city to try to win a championship here, because I knew these guys have already been so close. And once I got hurt, it was a heartbreaking moment for me. I didn't even want to accept the truth. It was kind of no way it happened, right? But tonight was the night I was like, listen, I'm going to give everything I have, and I'm just super happy to be a part of this and to give something to the team. And man, I'm super thankful for the support I've gotten from the fans. And tonight the arena was electric, and it's been unbelievable to play in front of these fans. Yeah, we have we have a super composed team. We don't have any loud guys. And, we're super confident, but also down to earth people in this organization and in this roster. And man, we were gonna. Everybody had the mindset of we were gonna do whatever it takes, each of us individually, to get the job done. We want to win a championship for this city.
Back right,
Adam. And everything, we did everything possible for that, and now we get the fruits from our labor. was a long road to get here, to be honest, you know, and to be the last team standing, it feels amazing. Like, all that work paid off. When, as I said, like, when I was still on the stage and stuff, like, it still felt surreal. Like, I couldn't, and us as a team, I think we couldn't really, like, settle into that. But once we got back to the locker room and started celebrating, I think that's when everybody realized, like, yo, we actually did it. We did it, and Joe's an animal. Al's an unbelievable teammate, unbelievable person. Everybody loves him. He's a great leader, and you know, knowing how he has been chasing this for so long in his career and finally get it done, and playing at a high level at his age, man, he's I don't even know what like words I can use to describe him. You know, everybody loves him, and he gave everything to this team, and he deserves it more than anybody.
All right, that audio courtesy of the NBA and the Boston Celtics. And you heard some things that Kristaps talked about, playing for a franchise like the Celtics, playing for the city of Boston. Also talking about Coach JoeMazzulla, right? I mean, he was saying just coaches is tough, but it's an honor to play for him. And just, you know, Kristaps made a world of difference for the Celtics this season, and especially in the first two games of this NBA Finals series. And let's just stay with the Celtics for a moment. So you heard him earlier. Now here he is again, the Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP, JaylenBrown.
Yeah, we just take it one game at a time. You know, we started this journey together. We were both drafted here, and we both, you know, have made Boston our home, and we just love getting after it, love growing, love getting better, chasing greatness. So I can't say enough about JaysonTatum, man. His sacrifice this year, his ability to just be selfless, you know, really showed in the finals, really showed all playoffs, and I'm grateful, man. But I couldn't do it without any of my teammates, and JT, that's my brother for life. We talked about it. We knew we had a great team coming in with some offensive firepower, and we knew we had the ability to guard 1 through 5. So for me, it was all about getting those guys, our new guys, acclimated. I wanted to make sure KP felt comfortable when he got here, and then I wanted to make sure Drew felt comfortable when he got here. But those guys were awesome, and together we all were on the same page in the locker room, and I think it really transpired through the whole season. Well, I've been taking on those matchups all year. I know we have some great defensive players, but I feel like I was taking the load of the defensive matchup every single night, all season long. So when it came to the playoffs, it wasn't really a question. Everybody already knew like who was gonna have Luka. I don't think anybody second guessed it. So you know, and it's a chess match because he's great. You know, so I'll pick and chose some moments where I let him catch the ball, didn't let him catch the ball, but tonight I was just all over him. And our guys really look for me in defensive moments, and hopefully I'm happy that we came through.
All right, that audio is courtesy of the NBA and NBA TV. So you heard JaylenBrown just talking about the connection with JaysonTatum, how they feed off of one another, and just it's the duo. They tried to break these two up a few years back. They were saying maybe one needs to be traded, maybe Jayson needs to go, maybe Jaylen needs to go. You know what? Glad that the Celtics did not do that, because certainly these two have been a solid and a great tandem in such a short amount of time, and now they've got the hardware. They have an NBA championship. And then you heard Jaylen also talk about just had his defensive assignment against LukaDoncic. And I tell you one thing, Jaylen did a masterful job on the defensive side, especially defending LukaDoncic. And speaking of the other half of the dynamic duo, JaysonTatum, here's Jayson at the end.
It's a real feeling. Still hasn't really kicked in yet. Just trying, I guess, enjoy the moment. I kept saying, wow. These last 7 years have been a roller coaster, up and down. I had to listen to all this shit that people said about me, and tonight it was worth it. Oh my God. I mean, maybe getting drafted, that's something that you dream about, but this is at the top of the mountain. To be able to say we did it, that we came together and we won a championship, banner number 18 that's been hanging over our head for so many years, to know that we're going to be engraved in history, and it still hasn't, like, registered. I'm just still trying to process it all. But we did it. We won a championship. He told me that was the best in the world. And I said, you damn right I am. That it was all the sacrifice was worth it. I'm so thankful to have been in the positions that I was growing up. Thankful for my mom. Thankful for my dad introducing me to basketball. My grandmother who helped raise me. All my friends and family that have supported me. Every coach, every teammate that I've had. There's a lot of people that have had a hand in the success of JaysonTatum. So I guess in this moment I'm just very thankful for everybody that supported me in the highest of moments and in the lowest of moments. I'm very, very appreciative of that. I mean, this is going to be a night that I will remember for the rest of my life, from the game, the celebration, these moments. Over the last couple of years, we had some tough losses at home in the playoffs, and we've lost the NBA championship at home in front of our fans. We had a chance to beat Miami in Game 6 a few years ago and lost that one. So to have a big win, the biggest win that you could have in front of your home crowd, I felt like that was really important to go out there and do everything in my power to make sure we won this game tonight. It took being relentless. It took, being on the other side of this and losing in the finals and being at literally the lowest point in a basketball career that you could be. To next year, to the following year, thinking that was going to be the time and come up short again. So, I mean, people have said it before, but coming up short and having failures makes this moment that much better. Because you know what it feels like to lose. You know what it feels like to be on the other side of this and be in a locker room and hearing the other team celebrate and having them celebrate on your home floor. Like, that was devastating. And now, to elevate yourself in a space that, all your favorite players are in. Right? Everybody that they consider greats or legends have won a championship, and all the guys I looked up to won a championship, multiple championships. So now I can like walk in those rooms and be a part of that. It's a hell of a feeling. This is more. I dreamed about what it would be like, but this is 10 times better. First of all, congrats to him. Well deserved. Extremely happy for him. This is a hell of an accomplishment. The main goal for us was to win a championship. We didn't care who got Finals MVP. I know that I need him through this journey, and he needs me. So it was great to see him have that moment and share that moment with him. I'm extremely happy for him. Well deserved. That was big time. He earned that.
Courtesy of the NBA and the Boston Celtics. And towards the end of the soundbite, Jayson was talking about his teammate, his partner in crime, JaylenBrown. You heard Jayson say definitely deserving of the MVP, and definitely, the way they work together, they've been together for a while, it's just been phenomenal. And, hey, they're only going to get better. And then at the beginning of the soundbite, you just heard Jayson talk about all of the doubters, all of the naysayers, and people having questions about him and his play and could he do it? Well, hey, he did it. They have the Larry O'Brien trophy, and Jayson is a part of this. And, of course, one of the cool things about JaysonTatum is his son, Deuce. Deuce has been around for a minute now, and Deuce had told him that one of the reporters in the press, in the audio that you heard, asked Jayson, what did his son Deuce tell him at the end of the game? And he told him that, you're the best in the world. And then you heard what Jayson said. You're darn right. I'm not going to say that the other D word, but Deuce told his dad, Jayson, that he was the best in the world. And Jayson replied by saying, you're darn right. And certainly he isn't the best he is one of the best in the world right now. It's going to be a busy summer for JaysonTatum because Jayson, now a newly crowned NBA champion with his team, the Boston Celtics, and before you know it, he's going to be getting ready real soon for Team USA training camp because he's on the Olympic team with a chance to win a gold medal at this year's Summer Olympics in Paris. So that takes care of the side of the Celtics. Now let's go on the losing end. Tough loss for the Dallas Mavericks. KyrieIrving, wow. You talk about a renaissance or a revival of a year for Kyrie. Definitely a great season for him. His team came up short in the loss. Here's Kyrie.
Very confident. I mean, that's what's, a positive note that we can take from this series. Just how far we made it and, how proud I am of the guys and, we answered a lot of questions this year on what we were capable of doing, and now it's just about being consistent. I think, probably in the last week I said that, I wanted to be remembered as one of the best teams of this era. The last two champions have been a new one each and every year, so I see an opportunity for us to really build our future in a positive manner where, this is almost like a regular thing for us, and we're competing for championships, and I think from a spiritual standpoint, I think I enjoyed this journey more than any other season, just because of the redemption arc and being able to learn as much as I did by myself and my teammates and the organization and the people that I'm around. It's a lot of good people here, so it makes coming to work a lot of fun. And when you have that type of environment, I think it's easy to achieve goals that are bigger than yourself because everyone's really dialed in and having a good sense of joy about them. It starts in the summertime. It starts, early in preseason when you're developing your habits. And I think we went 0-4 in preseason to start, which wasn't the best start. But we got off to a pretty decent start to the season. And there were some injuries and some uncontrollable things that happened. But I think if you look at the overall big picture, Luke was right, and I've been saying it too, just failure, it can inspire you beyond measure. And we started off as a fifth seed and then started on the road in every series, and we were able to accomplish this, and we were able to grow as teammates and as a brotherhood here, a sisterhood here, where we can really take that as a positive note into the summer. Failing at this stage definitely sucks. It's a bitter feeling because you want to keep playing, and you feel like your best game is coming up next, and the shots that you shoot next game are coming up, and now we got to wait, I think, 2.5 months, 3.5 months to the new champion gets a chance. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to grow with these guys in this locker room. Everybody across our organization, we've been able to celebrate our wins, but also learn how to celebrate our losses too and how to grow from that. So that's the difficult part of being human. When you really love something, you really want to win, and it doesn't happen, how do you respond from that? So I think that's where we are now. But I think I could tell you, I'm pretty confident that we'll be back in the gym pretty soon and getting ready for it. Yeah, it was emotional anyway. I mean, every series was emotional, just because I was just uncertain on how it was going to go and how we were going to respond to a little bit of adversity. We finally ran into a team where, they beat us fair and square, and we weren't able to respond to a lot of their runs, and we weren't able to execute at a high level. So when I was shaking everybody's hands, that was more of a sign of respect for their journey. They've been through an incredible 5-year span of going to Game 7s or losing in the finals. So they know what this bitter feeling feels like, being up here and answering questions about what this next year holds. And I think they used everything as motivation. They were healthy, and they really kept their head down and weren't paying attention to any of the personal accolades or individual accolades. I think they just came together as a team and were okay with each person being great in their role and selflessly putting their best foot forward. So I think we learned more than anything from this series on what it takes to not only get back to this level but win at this level. And the Celtics are the perfect example for us this season because of how much they've had to deal with in the past few years. So it's admirable, and to see did JB win Finals MVP? yeah, that was big time to see that trophy in his hands. I think him and JT should have split it, but you know, those two guys in particular have almost been like students and as well now becoming teachers in their own right. So to see them accomplish that, I'm really proud. And also extremely motivated to get back to this position in the next few years with my guys and be able to win this thing. I would agree with that. Yeah, just time together means a lot, and failing together is not the ideal situation. But from a leadership standpoint, going through situations like that, sometimes it'll motivate you beyond things that you could imagine. And when I was a little bit younger and I was injured in 2015 and we lost, it was a team loss. It wasn't just I was injured and we could have done this or that. So that went on my finals record. I was 0-1, and then the next year we came back and won in a 3-1 comeback, and then the following year we lost against the Warriors, and I haven't been back since. So I look at it as opportunity for us to observe what we did well this year as a group and how me and Luka could be better as the leaders of the team, a few of the leaders on the team, and really just enjoy the ups and downs of what's coming, because now we know what to expect. So this past year was a lot of newness. There was a lot of people being in new positions in terms of just the success. Success could be new for a lot of people too, but when you fail at the finals, it's not something that you want to carry the disappointment forever or on to next season. We worked extremely hard to be one of the final two teams. We didn't achieve our goal, but we achieved most of our goals. So this is just the last step that we have to get back to, and we know it's not going to be easy. We're going to go against a lot of young teams that are emerging, but we're going to get better as well, and I think this experience will carry us forth in the following series that we play next year. God willing, we make it back to the playoffs and get the chance to play our best basketball. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to get to that point when you have no other choice but to look at your partner or your teammates and say that we're going to do this and we're going to accomplish it no matter what anyone says. The hardest thing, I would say one of the most difficult things, not the hardest thing, but one of the most difficult things in this industry is, as I've been in for 12 years, is dealing with a lot of the relationship with sort of say social media or fans and media, and then us as players, and wanting to achieve a golden legacy, sort of say. Everybody looks at MJ as the prototypical guy. He was 6-0. Then you go down the list of Bill Russell and other great guys that have come through this way. I can name a myriad of names, but for those guys in particular, I think they have had the same trajectory or career path as some of the greatest to play the game, where they've lost early in their career, and now they're at the top of the mountain because they've earned their way there and they've been able to learn. So, again, I'm nothing short of proud of those guys, but I think this was a message to my teammates as well, that when we get this opportunity, God willing, we get this opportunity again, we work hard, it's going to be more than just our talent that's going to get us over the edge, and it's going to be more than just somebody scoring 30. It's going to take more than just scoring. It's going to take everything from you, and that's what makes this thing beautiful too. Is when you get to the top of that mountain, how do you stay motivated there? And now that they're there, I think those are questions they're going to have to answer for themselves. But for us, we got to the top of the mountain and we failed, so now we have to start at the bottom, and that should be inspiring. So grateful that I love what I do. Grateful that I get to do it with people that love what they do too. So. Be a long summer, but looking forward to the start of next season now.
All right, that audio courtesy of the NBA and the Dallas Mavericks. So you heard KyrieIrving and what he had to say. He said it's going to be an interesting summer, but he's looking forward to getting back to work and hopefully to get back to the top of the mountain. You heard him make the analogy about from being at the top of the mountain and going to the bottom of the mountain, but he's hoping to get back to the top of the mountain. And certainly KyrieIrving had a revival this year. He had a renaissance of a year this year. KyrieIrving really made a name for himself this year, and incorporating the other pieces that Dallas put together with Kyrie along with LukaDoncic, and then the trade deadline was big for the Mavericks, acquiring Daniel Gafford and P.J. Washington. So Dallas, and of course with Derrick Jones Jr. and then the rookie Derek Lively, certainly had a solid playoff run this year. And so Kyrie's looking forward to next season. He's looking to improve during the summer. So while Kyrie gives us optimism, LukaDoncic, Luka was not a happy camper. Here he is at the end of the game.
Nothing. Said we lost. Not specific. It doesn't matter if I was hurt. How much was I hurt? I was out there, tried to play, but I didn't do enough. I feel great. We did some great moves. I would say, we were together for 5 minutes. I'm proud of every guy that's up on the floor, all the coaches, all the people behind. Obviously, we didn't win finals, but we did have a hell of a season, and I'm proud of every one of them. They were physical, a lot. They have great defenders. Just everything. They're a great team. That's what they do. I want to talk about what's next, man. I have some decisions to make. Just trying to get a little bit healthier. We'll talk. We have interviews in 2 days, right? So I'll give you an answer to that. Right now, I don't know. It's not what I'm thinking, but they're great team. They've been together for a long time, and they have to go through everything. So we just got to look at that, see how they play, maturity, and they have some great players. We can all learn from that, and we got to fight next season. Just stay together, man. I think just having Kyle on the team, on our team is unbelievable. Just helping. We said we'll fight together next season, and we're just gonna believe.
All right, that audio courtesy of the NBA and the Dallas Mavericks. So LukaDoncic, very dejected, saying that they have to have maturity to get back to this road, and hopefully they can get back there next year. Luka was also asked about the Olympic qualifier, and he declined to answer any questions about that because, Luka, right now it's expected that he's expected to play for the Olympic team representing his homeland of Slovenia. But Luka, if you've been following him, especially during the playoffs and in the Western Conference Finals against the Minnesota Timberwolves, had some issues with his knees and his ankles. So we'll see if he decides to participate in the Olympic qualifier and be a part of the Slovenian team for this year's Olympics. But Luka, you heard him say they need to get mature and they're going to learn from this experience and they'll try to get back at it next year. And tough road for Jason Kidd, KyrieIrving, LukaDoncic, and the rest of the team, the Western Conference champion Dallas Mavericks, man. And it's going to be tough in the West, not just with Dallas, but Denver's hungry as well. And you've got Minnesota, Oklahoma City. We'll see what Ja Morant does coming back to Memphis along with Jaren Jackson Jr. And, the New Orleans Pelicans, they're a team on the rise as well. Zion Williamson, also Jonas Valanciunas, C.J. McCollum, Herb Jones, who was a defensive standout, along with Jose Alvarado, Brandon Ingram, just to name a few. Sacramento is coming too with De'Aaron Fox, Keegan Murray, Domantas Sabonis. So Dallas, they're not going to be pushovers, man, but when you're playing in the West, it's like dog eat dog every night. So it's going to be a tough goal for the Mavericks looking ahead to next year. And as for the Boston Celtics, listen, they're no longer the hunter. They're the hunted now. But in the Eastern Conference, you've got a rising team with the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson, what a fantastic year he had this past year. And then Julius Randle expected to come back from a shoulder injury. You've also got Dante DiVincenzo, also Josh Hart. Mitchell Robinson is expected to come back from injury. So New York is going to have something to say about that. How about Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and the Philadelphia 76ers? Or how about the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Damian Lillard, Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton? What are they going to have to say? The Milwaukee Bucks are not going to be denied neither. The Indiana Pacers, what an incredible year that the Pacers had with Aaron Nesmith, T.J. McConnell, Miles Turner, of course, Tyrese Halliburton. What's not to love about Tyrese, right? And then, of course, too, you expected to have Benedict Mathurin coming back from injury, so the Pacers are going to have something to say about that. The Cleveland Cavaliers are going to be interesting depending on the whole Donovan Mitchell situation. And how about a rising team with the Orlando Magic? Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, his brother Mo Wagner, Jalen Suggs, Jonathan Isaac, Cole Anthony. Listen, Orlando is a team that is on the rise. So Boston, they're the hunted now, and everybody's gunning for them now. Not just in the Eastern Conference, but just the whole NBA as a whole, man. Definitely going to be something to look out for, because I know Boston is predicted to be the favorite to win next year's NBA championship. But some of those names that I mentioned earlier, Dallas, Denver, OKC, and Minnesota, Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is a superstar. He's not just a star. He's a superstar. Minnesota, they're going to make the necessary changes to get back to the Western Conference Finals and maybe play in the NBA Finals. So don't sleep on Minnesota by any stretch of the imagination. The Los Angeles Clippers, Jeff Van Gundy is the new assistant coach for the Los Angeles Clippers, going to be a part of Ty Lue's coaching staff for the Clippers, so that should be an interesting tandem right there. And then, of course, the L.A. Lakers. No coach as of right now, but, hey, you've got LeBron James, you've got Anthony Davis. You always have a chance when you have LeBron and AD. All right, so again, the final score in Game 5 of the 2024 NBA Finals. The Boston Celtics, 106. The Dallas Mavericks, 88. Boston wins the series 4-1. JaysonTatum, again, had a double-double with 31 points and 11 assists. JaylenBrown finished with 21 points. And then Drew Holiday had a double-double with 15 points and 11 assists. And Derek White finished with 14 points. So the Boston Celtics, again, win their 18th NBA championship in franchise history. Currently, the franchise has the most titles all time among all teams in the NBA, with the Los Angeles Lakers right behind them with 17, the Golden State Warriors with 7, the Chicago Bulls with 6, and the San Antonio Spurs with 5. And JaylenBrown named the Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP. And that's going to do it for this edition of the program. Until next time, everybody, I'm Ed Robinson saying so long and you take care. We'll leave you now with audio courtesy of the NBA, ABC, and the Walt Disney Company. Until next time, so long, everyone.
And now Dallas will dribble it out. This crowd on its feet, the best team in basketball all year. All the work, all the sacrifice, handling the enormous weight of massive expectations. Ends tonight here. It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured. The Celtics are NBA champions.
Joined by Boston Celtics owner Wyc Grousbeck, our managing partners Steve Faliuca and Bob Epstein, head coach JoeMazzulla, and president of basketball operations Brad Stevens, and here to present the Larry O'Brien Trophy to the Boston Celtics, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
Thank you, Lisa. To the Boston Celtics, congratulations on the NBA record, 18 championships. To Wyc, Steve, Bob, where's Brad? Congratulations on assembling an incredible team. Coach Mazzulla, where are you? You did it. Unbelievable. And to the fans, thank you very much. Without you, we wouldn't be here. And now it's my honor to present to the Boston Celtics the 2024 Larry O'Brien Trophy for the NBA Championship.
Wyc, expectations for this team were so high all season long. Just how were they able to, every time, rise to meet the moment?
Michelle, the brilliance of JoeMazzulla is that he wouldn't let expectations get in the way. JoeMazzulla said there's no expectations. You've got to win or die trying. Joe set a plan, and he kept everybody focused, and these guys played team basketball, great Celtics basketball. It wasn't about expectations. It was about getting it done. Banner 18.
You've been close for the last 2 years, but decided this offseason to make some major changes. How did you and Brad Stevens know that staying the course just wasn't going to be good enough?
Well, we all watched the team the last 2 years, great teams, but not quite there. And Brad was brilliant. We knew we needed to make changes. We knew we wanted to make changes, and Brad got it done. He brought in Drew, he brought in KP, and here we are. Banner 18 is back.
Congratulations, Wick.
Bill Russell would be so proud. The 2024 Bill Russell Finals MVP goes to JaylenBrown.
What does holding this trophy mean to you?
It was a full team effort, and I shared this with my brothers and my partner in crime, JaysonTatum. He was with me the whole way.
You said that what's been different about your game this season is that you let go all of the anxieties, all the doubts. First of all, you're a superstar, so no one knew you had any anxieties or doubts. But how were you able to do that to unlock your game, as you put it?
Just my faith in the Most High. Just believing in my teammates, my coaching staff, and just being grateful. I've been grateful for every moment, every opportunity. I never hug my head. I don't give a when we play basketball. Excuse my language, I'm sorry.
It means the world. First and foremost, God is the greatest. For putting us in this position, for us to be surrounded by each other, for us to put us in position to maximize our ability. It's been a long time coming, and damn, it was worth it. Because we know we need each other. We all need each other. This is a team sport, and we went through the ups and downs. And we deserve this. We earned this for sure.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Remember to click like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.